The number one focus and priority for us in international development is to break the intergenerational cycle of hunger. This is the key issue. We're going to spend a fair amount of time focusing on various solutions and programs and operational concerns that we will be talking about in the next few units about how we approach the issue and how we break the cycle. Just to step back for a moment, you can take anywhere in the cycle and start. Let's start, for example, with baby. A baby in these situations is born with low birth rate, small size, the stunting and wasting that we talked about in the previous unit. There will be untimely weaning in that oftentimes the child is not even breastfed. There will be frequent infections due to the immune system that is often compromised with the young child due to underlying malnutrition issues that have developed. The infant then grows then to have, there's impaired growth, impaired mental development, and growth does falter. This is where the stunting comes in. This is where the reduced mental capacity and chronic ill health develops. School entry can then be delayed even if the child goes to school. Puberty is also delayed. They get to the adolescent stage, and this is where the issue becomes most critical between girls and boys, men and women. For men, yes, they are affected oftentimes, so the boy child grows up. There's delayed entry into the workforce, reduced labor productivity, lower earning potential, chronic morbidity oftentimes because of the underlying malnutrition problems that he has experienced as a young child. Becomes an adult man, he's got the micronutrient deficiencies and all the other impaired issues in his immune system that may have been compromised as well. So he will still be able to have a family, which oftentimes he may have, but there will be so much reduced capacity on his part to care and provide for his family. Later, when he becomes older, if he survives to an older age and becomes elderly, his lifespan even then will be cut back. He's malnourished again. Oftentimes, the elderly are even caring for their grandchildren because the parents in many cases are off working and preoccupied with providing for the family, or in many areas where there has been a major AIDS epidemic, it's grandparents who are raising their grandchildren, and the whole middle group of productive adult males and females are no longer there. So that's for men. For girls, young women in this case, the issue is much more critical. They reach this stage of adolescence, micronutrient deficiencies, the stunted nature of their life at that stage. They become then adult women, or in many cases, they're having children at age 12, at age 13, before they are not just physically ready, but because of their underlying malnourished issues, they will have serious problems at the time when they become pregnant. This is the major difference between girls and boys, men and women at this stage of puberty. There's much more physical demand for the girl once she becomes pregnant and then reaching puberty. She becomes pregnant, there's inadequate fetal growth faltering, risk of premature birth, very high mortality rates both for the child, for the baby, as well as for her. And this is why, again, we have such a major problem with mortality among young girls. So this is the cycle that we're trying to break, because you can see generation after generation in whole communities, families, and areas of certain countries, there will be just a downward spiral of poverty and hunger, and people get lower and lower and living more and more on the edge of society as they struggle to survive and provide for themselves. So the point here then is, where can we break the cycle? That's the critical part. And we typically focus first off on education, which we'll come to next.